was really at the end of August and early September, and then it has been above average for most of this month. But today, after another warm day, we're going to start to see that cooler air moving in from the north and west. Today, though, you don't need the jackets, you don't need the sweaters. You may want to go for the iced coffee this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at your current temps if you're just about to step out. Temperatures are in the upper 60s still in Philadelphia, 68 degrees right now, 66 in Wilmington. It's a little bit cooler up in the Poconos. We're seeing some 50s, but still around 60 degrees even in Allentown. So well above average. And as we pull up our map of the Northeast here and just kind of show you on the current radar picture what we're seeing out there, because showers have basically reached as far north as Virginia and Maryland. This is thanks to Tropical Storm Imelda. The good news for us, that's about as far north as that rain is going to get. So we will have another dry day. It's going to be cloudy. Clouds will slowly clear the area basically from northwest to southeast today as Imelda pulls away and that cooler, drier air moves in. So staying mild with a high near 80 today, mostly cloudy. Fall air arrives tomorrow just in time for the start of October, one of my favorite months of the year. If you don't like it that cool, it's going to warm back up quickly. We're looking at 80s again likely for the weekend. But today, t-shirt weather. We're at 80 degrees, another warm September day to finish out the month. It's mostly cloudy. You may see some breaks of sun later in the afternoon. Coming up, I'll tell you about that cool down and how long it's going to last. But let's send it over to Kim Hudson for a check. Either at least for the morning commute, but maybe by the afternoon, I'm hopeful we'll see some sun start to break out as cooler, drier air arrives. Let's talk about what we're seeing right now. Out the windows behind you can see City Hall. It's a kind of a cloudy morning, but not seeing a lot of fog out there, which is good news. A lot of cloud cover kept the fog really from forming, even though there's not much happening as far as any wind moving things around in the atmosphere. We're seeing temperatures across the region in the 60s this morning. You can see down the shore, still pretty dark outside. The shore is one spot to mention. I know it's not really a shore vacation season anymore, but if you're a surfer, if you're a boat operator, anything like that, there are some very rough waves out there, small craft advisories up and down the East Coast, and the threat for dangerous rip currents because of Imelda and Umberto churning up the Atlantic, but nothing major as far as any appreciable impacts weather-wise in our region. We're seeing clear skies and temperatures in the 60s. The clouds will be around for most of the day. So again, cloud cover hanging on till about noon, and then notice some breaks in the cloud cover possible. You can see a little sun emerging there. 3 p.m., 6 p.m., we're going to get to around 80 for the high, and it does stay on the humid side, at least for the end of September. You can see the extent of the cloud cover generated by Tropical Storm Imelda, which is right here. You can also see Imelda has started that eastward movement, starting to be drawn in by the circulation around Hurricane Umberto, which has now weakened to a Category 2 hurricane as of the latest update at 5 a.m. So here's Umberto, Category 2. Imelda is a tropical storm, and these two will eventually start to kind of mirror each other's paths because the circulation of Umberto starts to pull Imelda further out to sea. Now, something I think we have to worry about is eventually the circulation from Umberto is actually going to weaken, and Imelda is expected to strengthen as it moves toward Bermuda, now expected to become possibly a Category 2 hurricane and could impact Bermuda with those impacts by Thursday or Friday. So definitely something we will continue to monitor as we go through the week. But as far as the Northeast and the East Coast is concerned, don't expect too many impacts here. What we'll see is a gradual reduction in the cloud cover. So I'm going to take you through the rest of the day here. Let's pull up a couple of cities on the Northeast map just so we can orient ourselves to what we're seeing here. And what we're going to run through here is the next basically 12 hours of cloud cover. A lot of clouds this morning. Here's Philadelphia. And as we set this into motion, you can see the clouds are not really going to budge much for the first part of the day. But as the day continues, we'll start to see these clouds slowly thin out, and some breaks in the cloud cover expected later on in the day. Some improvement as the afternoon continues, especially from northwest to southeast. So I think you'll see a little sun a little sooner up in the Poconos and the Lehigh Valley than what we'll see here in the city. So really we're just dealing with clouds. Any of the rain from Imelda has stayed south, and that is going to continue to move southward as we go through the course of today. And we will usher in some cooler, drier air, the coolest air of autumn so far. Now autumn's only a week old, but you can see we are down below average, at least for a day, that day being Thursday at 69 degrees for the daytime high. Your next 7 days, look at this stretch. After today, the sun comes back tomorrow, cool air in place through the end of the week. But not to worry, it does warm back up. Looks like we'll be in the 80s through the weekend and into next week as well. So the warmth not over just yet. Kim, I'll send it over. Cardigans and the hot apple cider, maybe the cold apple cider today, but we do have some changes on the way. And just as the calendar flips to October tomorrow, it is going to start to feel like it. if only for a couple of days. The warmth is not quite done with us yet, as you'll see in the 7-day forecast. Let's start off with what we're seeing outside today. Starting off your Tuesday morning on a, like you said, mild and slightly humid note out there. It's staying cloudy, and the clouds courtesy of Tropical Storm Imelda, which is still a tropical storm. It is expected to strengthen as it approaches Bermuda by the end of the week, maybe even into a Category 2 hurricane, but it's going to stay away from us. So just cloud cover this morning. Some sun could try to peek through late. The farther north and west you go, the better chance you have of some late afternoon sun. And high temperatures once again right around the 80-degree mark. We have been above average for the better part of a week plus here in Philadelphia, and today is no exception. So a look at our current conditions outside. Temperature-wise, we are still feeling above average even in the overnight hours. Should be in the mid-50s, low 50s. We're in the upper 60s for overnight lows right now. 68 in Philadelphia, currently 66 in Wilmington, it's 62 up in Doylestown, and 63 where I'm standing here in Millville. Quick look at where the clouds are right now. Again, we're seeing a lot of cloud cover from Imelda just across our region, but showers staying south, and Imelda starting that turn further out to sea as it gets pulled along by Hurricane Umberto. So all of these showers, all these clouds will head south, and the sun may try to peek through later in the afternoon. Coming up, I'll tell you just how much cooler it's going to get to start October. For now, let's send it over to Kim for a check along and talk about something other than Cheetos, although that does sound good for breakfast, doesn't it? Let's take a look outside right now. It's kind of cloudy as we start the day. The clouds are going to be with us at least through late afternoon. You may start to see a few breaks of sun in the Lehigh Valley or the Poconos by mid-afternoon, but I think it's not until maybe your evening commute that we finally start to clear things out a little bit here in Philadelphia. So this is all courtesy of Tropical Storm Imelda, which is still well off to the south and will stay off to the south and then head out to sea. So this is the worst we're going to get, this cloud cover that we saw really start to increase yesterday. It almost looked like it was going to rain at any minute yesterday, but the rain has pretty much stayed south of us. We're keeping it warm and humid though, 68 with a dew point of 62 right now. And around the region today, mostly cloudy, a little bit more sun in the Lehigh Valley by late afternoon. I am hopeful that we'll see some sun peek through in Philadelphia by, again, 4 or 5 o'clock, but most of the day is cloudy. We have been well above average, though. For the past week plus, temperatures have been either red or gray, which is right on target, well above average for the second half of September, driving us to 2.5 degrees plus above average month to date. And today, we're going to finish out the month on the same kind of note, well above average with a high near 80. The clouds are in place, the shower staying south, and you can see there's Imelda, circulation of that system. It's getting pulled out to sea by the currently stronger Hurricane Umberto, but Imelda actually will strengthen more than Umberto in the coming days. Umberto's circulation going north of Bermuda. It is going to weaken by the end of the week, but Imelda expected to strengthen, and now the track takes it right over Bermuda as a strengthening Cat 1 or weak Cat 2 hurricane by late tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Certainly something to watch if you have any friends, family, or plans to visit Bermuda as we head to the end of the week and into the weekend. Taking a look at your next weather 7-day forecast, the cooler air is on the move as Imelda moves out, cool Canadian air moves in, and the next few days feeling fantastic and very fall-like before we warm up again this weekend. Kim, I'll send it over to you.
Kate, something is going on the Schuylkill eastbound